Give me the Harlem Renaissance in New York City. Organized crime, speakeasies, creatures of the night, and those with a duty to slay. And this historical fantasy will have you pondering the possibility of second chances in both love and life. Are you ready?
Yeah, 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 yeah. The Books and Vogue podcast. Yeah, 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 yeah. Come get your favorite next book. Yeah, 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 yeah. The Books and Vogue podcast. Yeah, 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 yeah. With Catherine Brad.
Welcome, book lovers, to the Books on Vogue podcast. This is your premier listening experience, all about immersive reading and helping avid and reluctant readers alike imagine book characters like never before. I'm your host, Kat Trinidad. The format of the show is I introduce a book, share tips on how we can engage your senses as you read this title, because it's one thing to be a mood reader, but you get a little something extra from the story when you're a set the mood reader. And finally, I will end the show with a reimagining of my favorite scene. Today, we will discuss techniques for getting into the duology, this ravenous faith, and our vicious descent, with none other than the author Hayley Dennings. But welcome, Hayley.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. Now, duologies. I know one is the beginning and the second is the conclusion, but without giving too much away, please tell us about these books.
Yeah, so this Ravenous Fate is, I call it my sapphic vampire book because it follows ex-best friends, a vampire and a vampire hunter, who are forced to work together to solve a string of murders that are threatening 1920s Harlem in New York, and that might be connected to a cure for vampirism. So there's a lot of back and forth, enemies to lovers, and betrayals going on. And book two picks up right where book one ends, with even more heartbreak, betrayals, and bloodlust, and just a lot of crazy stuff going on. Of course, had to add some political intrigue because the 1920s were such a politically and just generally chaotic time. So, a
Okay,
lot.
okay. Thank you so much for that. Do you care to join me in the discussion of some tips for setting a reading mood?
I'd love to.
Well, okay, book lovers, I hope you have your writing utensils ready because class is in session.
Hear it, see it, smell it, sense it, taste it, touch it. Ah. Hear it, see it, smell it, sense it, taste it, touch it. Ah. Hear it, see it, smell it, sense it, taste it, touch it.
The Books and Vogue podcast.
So, Hayley, what's the vibe? How can we engage our spirit as we read this duology?
The vibe is exciting, but maybe a little bit apprehensive. The sensation of definitely just, I don't know, things being kind of almost overstimulating to the point where you're a little nervous for what's to come, but still excited.
Okay. So, what's the sound of this ravenous faith and our vicious descent? What key notes in music or nature could set the tone as we binge read these novels?
I'm definitely thinking jazz music of the 1920s, specifically piano and maybe a little bit of trumpet and saxophone.
Okay. So, do share the aesthetics. This can be any visuals aside from the book, such as lighting.
Definitely nighttime, a little bit of moonlight and glitter from the stars and twinkling lights from the clubs nearby, blood dripping off of chandeliers, sparkling champagne, and yeah, just a lot of low atmospheric mood lighting with slippery blood underneath the surface of pretty much everything.
Okay. So, what's the flavor? Any food or drink companions for these titles?
Definitely like a bitter red wine, like blood, and then powdered sugar raspberry jelly donut. So when you bite in, the jelly just bursts out like blood would come out.
I love it. So, what's the aroma? Are there any smells to transport us into the pages?
An expensive perfume, maybe like Baccarat Rouge, but then also, again, the metallic scent of blood because it's everywhere in a vampire book. And yeah, perfume and blood. That's what we're going with.
Now you're gonna have me searching the internet for any copper smelling candles.
Yeah.
I'm sure they exist. I'm sure. So, how can we get more of the feels? How can we engage our sense of touch?
Definitely, I'd say the burn of fading coals, not too hot, but definitely still there. A little bit of the vibration and sharpness of electricity humming through a wire, and the warmth of a chandelier that's just been turned off.
Okay, okay. All right. Well, book lovers, there you go. These are your recommended supplies as you read this title. If you're able, pause and get some of these if available, or simply imagine because it's time for my favorite scene. Disclaimer, please note that exact words, names, locations, and or scenarios mentioned in this reimagined reenactment may differ from the actual books. Sharing my favorite scenes, I reenacted though, imagining the fiction world that I've been reading of. Going up all the things, I just gave you a list. Come experience all the senses as protagonists. And it don't get more real than this. Immersive read with books on both and live vicariously. The Pack, starring Hayley Dennings as the narrator and Elise, and Kat Trinidad as Layla.
Darkness passed over Layla's face, but her cold smile remained.
So personal. I admire the effort, Saint. I truly do. But I have no family. Your father made sure of that years ago.
Layla mumbled. She pushed her handcuffs back on her wrists and leaned over to take a pen to the paper in front of her. You blame me and my father, but we are not the Reapers who took your parents' lives and turned you, Elise hissed. Layla's jaw clenched. Her hands went flat on the table while her body tensed, and for a moment Elise thought she might pounce on her.
No, but you told your father about my parents' plans to desegregate the east side of Harlem, and you encouraged him to stop them by whatever means necessary. You might as well have sent the Reapers on us yourself. Some saint you are, a bystander to carnage, does not a saint make.
Layla seethed.
You killed me. You're a killer.
Elise's breath shook as she watched Layla draw out her neat signature on the dotted line. She leaned in close enough to whisper directly into the Reaper's ear. I'd be careful how you behave around me. Elise swore she saw Layla's entire demeanor shift at her words. She felt heat roll off Layla's neck, her own body tensing as the Reaper turned toward her so they were face to face. Layla watched Elise, eyes glowing.
I don't know how to behave around you,
she hissed. Her fangs were still out, their points digging into her lips. Blood beaded on the soft pink of her mouth. They were so close Elise could smell the blood, feel Layla's breath. It was as if a wicked spell had been cast, preventing her from looking away. Heat twisted in Elise's stomach, and she exhaled sharply. Layla?
You sound afraid, Saint. Is it because of what happened 5 years ago?
Leaning closer, Layla's mouth twisted into a smug curve, and Elise felt something twinge in her chest. The Reaper's eyes dropped first to her lips, then her throat, where Elise's pulse beat rapidly against her delicate flesh.
I will have you know, that was not personal. It was pure Reaper instinct. That is impossible to control when you are first turned, but...
The light in Layla's eyes flickered, and Elise's breath stilled at the cruel longing in her gaze.
Your blood has always been my favorite, even after all these years.
I don't care. Elise snatched the contract up and backed away.
Damn. Shouldn't you listen to what your partner has to say? We're in this together, are we not?
Layla leaned against the interrogation room table and held out her cuffed wrists, frowning.
These are annoying.
Elise's glare deepened. I will listen to everything regarding the case and information surrounding this investigation. You do not need to bring up our past. We are not friends. She gave Layla the coldest look she could muster up, but Layla didn't even flinch. Elise turned and nodded to the window where officers awaited her cue. Soon after, 2 men walked into the room and uncuffed Layla. The young Reaper snatched her hands back as soon as they were off. Bright red rings circled her wrists, burnt from the specialized metal meant to withstand Reaper strength. The whole interrogation, Layla must have been in immense pain, yet she said nothing. Layla turned to Elise.
Well, seeing as I am a free woman and the workday is over, I'll be going.
She threw Elise a mocking smile on her way out of the station. Elise swallowed a scream. Only an hour into their arrangement, and already Layla was getting under her skin, digging up scars of their path. Already, regret plagued the decision to work together. The saint and the damned. Elise feared the contract she held was no more than a litany of lies.
Book lovers, if you have enjoyed this sneak peek, you can get more by reading the whole book and its sequel, This Ravenous Fate and Our Vicious Descent by Hayley Dennings. It's available at your local library and everywhere books are sold. And if it's not, request it because you deserve to read all the books that interest you. And if you have already read This Ravenous Fate and Our Vicious Descent, or are in the middle of reading either book 1 or book 2, let me know in the comments what you like to do to set the mood for reading because I would love to hear from you. So please leave your feedback. Also, please consider supporting the show by downloading and becoming a member of the Live Podcast Network app. By downloading the Live Podcast Network app, you will experience unlimited access to other Black hosted content and will be able to keep bringing you amazing content week after week. I encourage you to check it out. And if anyone asks, tell them Kat Trinidad sent you. Hayley, is there anything else you would like to share with the listeners?
Thank you for your support, and I hope you enjoy my lesbian vampires and look forward to my next books.
I'm excited. I am. And I just wanted to say thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been so much fun. You're an amazing narrator, truly. You should look into reading audiobooks.
Well, thank you. Y'all hear that? You hear that? Y'all put a girl on, put a girl on. But as always, book lovers, thank you also for listening with peace, much love, and joy. Happy reading.
The Books and Vogue Podcast. Come get your favorite next book. The Books and Vogue Podcast. With Captain Red. Subscribe, listen, check out recommendations, and happy reading.